The following presentation is brought to you by
American Legion, Post 416, Greendale, Wisconsin. Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW, Post 10519, Greendale, Wisconsin.
Disabled American Veterans, DAV, Chapter 19, West Allis, Wisconsin. And by viewers like you.
From the global resources of Veterans Media Services. This is Veterans Newsline with Dave VIVA.
Welcome to the show today, everybody. Today we begin a journey that will take us far into the Wisconsin North Woods. That journey will take us up to 4 episodes to complete. A journey with the Wisconsin chapter of the Visually Impaired Veterans Activity Group to Camp American Legion in Tomahawk, Wisconsin. In this episode, we'll head out to the chain of lakes to view its vast amount of wildlife and abundant scenic shorelines. We'll also be heading over to Rhinelander, Wisconsin to visit the Rhinelander Logging Museum and the Rhinelander Model Railroad Museum and Model Railroad. But before we begin our journey today, let's talk with Rob Ivy, founder of the VIVA group, for a few minutes to find out what that's all about. And welcome everybody. Joining me now is Rob Ivy. He's the chairman and founder of the VIVA group, and he's been on the show before, but maybe some of you are tuning in for the first time. So Rob, right off the top, why don't you tell everybody watching at home what the VIVA group is, what it means, and a little bit about the group.
Of course. Back in 2011, I had gotten back from the Blind Rehab Center. Me and a friend of mine got back to our respective VA hospital and tried to get some recreational therapy going. There was no money in the budget for us to have it, so we decided to start our own group called the Visually Impaired Veterans Activity Group. It started slow with 2 members, me and my friend, and we didn't have no money, no budget. We worked on it ourselves. We found activities that were free to do, and it started getting interest from other blinded veterans, and it started growing in leaps and bounds from the 2 original members at that time till now. We got 31 members in only 2 years and growing.
And of course the VIVA group means Visually Impaired Veterans Activities. And what's the concept behind that?
The idea about it was usually when somebody becomes disabled, they become what we call adaptive anxiety. They don't know how to handle their new lifestyle, and especially with the blind. They don't want to go out in public, afraid they're going to embarrass themselves by bumping something over or spilling something or of that nature. So we figured as a group they wouldn't have that oneness, that they would be the only one that could do it, for one. And for 2, when we go to a restaurant or whatever as a group, we get a very good reception as the group, and everybody in the staff knows that we are a group that they're careful to put the stuff so we can sit and enjoy ourselves without being self-conscious about people watching us. And we want to make sure that people know that blind people also have activities in their life too. The red cane with the white cane with the red tip is more to let you know that we have a vision problem. Some of us are not completely blind, but we might bump into you by accident It's no disrespect. We might trip on a small piece of paper because it depends on our vision. Some of us do not have no depth perception. So what we do is we get them together so they're not embarrassed. But it is most people think that because you're carrying a guide stick that you're completely blind, and you know, they try to be as helpful as possible, or some of them are standoffish, you know, because like they're afraid that they're going to hurt you. The thing is most, I would say 75 to 80% of people with a guide cane are not completely blind. They have some, what we call acuity. It's just a matter of how much they can see. I call it like the Mr. Magoo type complex, you know, where
Yes,
you know, when I hold my hand in front of me like this, I might see 8 fingers because of the blurriness, and I don't get no focus at all. So after 5 feet, there, you know, all I see is outlines. However, I can see colors, but I cannot make details out, and that's a hindrance with reading, with people using, you know, say over there or doing this, and you know, you just have to let them know that you're visually impaired, and you need a little better explanation than just pointing your finger, you know.
All right, so, and this group is 100% nonprofit. We're reliant on donations. Of course, we had Wayne's Drive-In
oh, that was fantastic,
some money.
Yeah.
And
Ozaki County Corvette Club.
All right, and quite a few other groups have donated money to make these trips possible for us.
Yes.
And since we're nationwide now, some of the folks maybe in Dallas or California or Florida are watching our show today. If they're interested in doing this in their area, is there a way they can contact you and get some tips on how to get started?
Yes, you can email me at VIVA, that's VIVA MILW.hotmail.com. You can email me and I'll put together a package of how you can get started, how you can use the resources available to you at your local VAs. VAs are famous, at least my experience, for being very supportive of peer support groups. They feel that a peer support group helps the veteran better overcome his disability, and in fact it becomes an ability more, you know. In a sense, you're teaching a new way how to interact with things, you know. So peer support groups are very, very important in the VA system, and most VAs will be more than happy to get you started and help you out.
Well, very good, Rob. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
Joining me now is our Captain Don, and Captain is going to be taking us out on all the wonderful lakes near Camp American Legion. Don, what can we expect to see today?
Well, we hope to see some ducks and some hawks and eagles.
Ducks, hawks, and eagles.
We saw some cranes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of these lakes? They've been around for a long time, and they're kind of like a chain, aren't they? We go through channels and...
Yeah, from Lake Tomahawk up into Minocqua. They're all logging from the logging days. That's where they're made from.
Oh, okay.
So they go from one lake to another.
So a lot of different things, loons and geese and ducks and just about everything. Right. All right, folks, so strap in, fasten in, and damn the torpedoes and full speed ahead. right now we're at the, we're actually at two places, folks, in one. Part of this place that we're at is called the Pioneer Park Historical Complex, and at the complex we're going to walk around on a guided tour here, and Sally Hammond is going to take us around the grounds for that part of this, the Pioneer Park Historical Complex. And there's a bunch of stuff from the logging days. It's about a big sawmill and a lot of interesting stuff. And then also here on the grounds is the Rhinelander Railroad Museum and Model Railroad Club. So we're going to take a little look at stuff like that big steam locomotive that's behind us. We're going to go in and walk around the train station, the historic train station here. And then we're going to take a little sneak peek of a really nice model railroad, HO scale railroad that they have in the basement here. So, without any further ado, let's get together with Sally and let's check this place out today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will start right over here at Red Marquardt Sawmill, and that is our newest museum on the property. Our oldest one is the Logging Museum, which is right behind me. But right now we will all, if you follow me, we'll go over here to the sawmill. Going on right here. And that will tell you a lot of the history of this place. Red and May Marquardt had their own sawmill. Everything that you see in here was from their sawmill. They moved all the equipment here after they built the building. And then we're with this tractor, which is an international harvester with the lugs. And they had the belt right over here, if you can see the belt on the other side, that powered the sawmill. They were a local family, a wonderful large family, and we've always enjoyed having them here and there. And she will give you a little tour of everything there. She will tell you about, this was actually a one-room schoolhouse, and she will tell you where it was, and it had been moved twice.
You are looking at the rural schoolhouse, one of the last rural schoolhouses in Oneida County. There used to be quite a few, probably over 40 of them. This one was built in 1902. Oh, here's an apple for the teacher. Yes. And okay, class. Welcome to the one-room schoolhouse. It was built around the turn of the century, well, 1902. It was in a couple of different townships. Pine Lake was one.
Pine Lake, you said?
Pine Lake was one of the areas that it was. And the new house. How many of you went to one When the kids came into the schoolhouse, they always had to, the boys had to bow, then the girls had to curtsy and go quietly to their desks. Take off their hats, they could not have their hats at school. They could be off here. And
War building. It was built specially for this museum. And you will see the uniforms the young men wore, the way they ate, the way they dressed. There's a dispensary in the other room, and there are some camps. And all around the whole building are different pictures and things on display. It is Duke Montgomery's, who was famous in the Northwoods that he could fix anybody's motor. And this is, for the most part, everything that you will see in here belonged to his collection. So I just invite you in. The two green bowls are Rhinelander bowls. The two green bowls that you see on this side are Rhinelander bowls.
You have any good Rhinelander beers?
They do make Rhinelander beers still.
I know they used to have good Rhinelander.
And this was the Rhinelander Boat Company one also. This is our blacksmith shop. It's part of the logging museum, part of the original museums that were on the grounds. It was also designed after an original blacksmith shop on one of the logging camps.
boy, was that great and very interesting too. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And that's it for part 1 of this 4-part special edition of Veterans Newsline. Coming up in part 2 of this special 4-part series, we'll be visiting the Dr. Kate Museum in Woodruff, Wisconsin for some 1950s nostalgia, and the Northwoods Wildlife Center located in Magagua, Wisconsin, to visit some injured animals. For that and more, be sure to tune in to the August 21st, 2013 edition or VNL0046 on YouTube. And that's it until next time. This is Dave Riva reporting for Veterans Newsline with the VIVA Group at Camp American Legion, Wisconsin. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.